Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs, and this is about I'm very excited about for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's Saturday, and I remember being a young guy on Saturdays, and we still get it now thanks to the PBC and some of the other people out there. Um, a fight on Saturday, especially in the afternoon, was an awesome thing. Usually the fights were really good, even if they weren't that good. It was just always fun to have boxing on free TV, and that's come back a little bit, and I think that's awesome. Thanks to people like I said, like the PBC, and hopefully Oscar De La Hoya with this new ESPN thing that he's doing will also bring it back. Anyway, I love it when we have fights with heavyweights, and I love it when we have fights with young heavyweights, and this is about as good as it gets. Hughie Fury will be challenging Joseph Parker for Parker's WBO belt that Parker took off of Andy Ruiz. As we see, Hughie Fury is only 22 years of age, and Joseph Parker is 25. And Hughie Fury is 6'6", and Joseph Parker 6'4". Their weights, I'm just going off their weights for their most recent fights. At least I believe that that's what I did. I hope I got somewhere in the ballpark. 231 for Fury, 227 for Parker, and then the Hughie Fury enjoys a 4-inch reach advantage. They're both undefeated. Hughie Fury has 20 fights with 10 knockouts, and Joseph Parker has 22 fights with 18 knockouts. And so we're going to get right to this. Hold on one sec. Always like to have a phone handy so that I can look up stats. When I do this, my computer's usually locked up in it, so it's one of those things. It's nice to have some stats ready to be able to bring to you. So let's just begin this fight. Joseph Parker versus Hughie Fury, WBO heavyweight title. I'm not a big guy on titles, but you know what? This I think is going to be a good fight. So both guys are coming out now, and I will also want to say that this game, as you can see, is an old boxing game. Right off the bat, by the way, I really like the way that Hughie Fury is throwing out that left jab, sort of as a rangefinder, as a marker, trying to set something up against Joseph Parker. One thing that I wanted to say was, as this is an old game, it lets me draw the fighters as black or white. And I know that Joseph Parker, I believe he is Samoan, and so I did not want to draw him as African American because I just felt, well, that might be insensitive. But then I also know that how it looks like two white guys are fighting. So it's just the game. I'm doing the best that I can to approximate for us, as this is a simulated fight, the looks of the fighters. We have Hughie Fury on the left side of the screen, Joseph Parker on the right side of the screen. My name is Evan Jacobs, and you can follow me on Instagram at Boxing Time with Evan. You can also please contact me here through the comment sections and whatnot, or send me a direct message about Boxing Time TV. Let me know if there's fights that you want to see made. Let me know what you think of this. I just want to make this as, I want to do as many simulated fights as I possibly can. I want to do as much as I can with this channel. Please, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. If you want to see boxing's fights of the future now, this is the place to be, I believe. But I'm sure there's other sites doing this that are just as good. Thank you for coming to my site and giving me the time. Already, I like what I'm seeing from both guys. Hughie Fury's coming out trying to be very dominant, fighting at a distance, even though he is close to Joseph Parker, and Parker kind of looking for openings, looking for angles. Lands right there, a nice right hand on the chin of Hughie Fury. And I'm just double checking something on my stats, and then you have Parker right there cracking him with a left hand. Hughie Fury does not want to be too close to Joseph Parker. It's just one of those things. I believe Parker does hit harder, so it would be good for Fury to use his advantages in height and in reach to sort of keep Parker at bay. The question is Joseph Parker seems to kind of be coming from more of a technical fight here. And I think it would be well for him to get a little bit closer, go to the body, and do everything that he can to stop to make it so that Hughie Fury cannot move. And a bunch of hard punches landed by Joseph Parker may have won him the round as we go to the judges after the first. All right, just double checking something on my stats for Hughie Fury. Yep, Hughie Fury is only 22 years of age, and so that was even. All the judges had that even. Let's go out right now. Um, Split scorecards. That doesn't really bother me, especially when both guys are kind of doing their thing. I always think that the best fights, and I've said this before, are when you have two fighters who are able to utilize both of their styles. And Joseph Parker right there getting really close, landing some nice headshots, and this fight ultimately may come down to that. What do you like? Do you like the boxing and the movement and the jabs that Hughie Fury's putting out? Or do you like the hard punches that Joseph Parker's landing? And does that do more for you than the jabs of Hughie Fury? One thing I like about having my phone handy and the BoxRec app and other apps near me is I can kind of go back and forth on the fighters and give you all some facts and info. And I'm stealing that from the Dan Le Batard show, which I love. Okay, right there. So as you're seeing Hughie Fury doing well with his jab and also doing well with his right and his left hand. The thing is, you have Joseph Parker who is really finding ways to land on Hughie Fury and making Hughie Fury's size kind of work against him. One has to wonder, will that be the case in this fight? And I often wonder, I doubt that it happens, but I often wonder if the fighters ever watch, or if their people ever watch these fights, and if they win, do they feel good about it? If they lose, are they mad about it? I mean, who knows? Maybe this page will get big enough one day where, that will happen. I'm right now just happy making it something for the fans. I haven't even monetized this thing yet. I'm not really doing that simply just because I don't know. I like it being ad free. I like that you get to turn it on, but who knows? That may change. And then I guess you can always just click the ads off or just wait the 5 seconds or whatever. Nice action in the center of the ring. Hughie Fury, in my opinion, I think is a little too close to Joseph Parker right now. And that could cause him some problems, as I think it's allowing him to bust Parker up, even though Hughie Fury right there lands really well with his right hand and his left. Parker is being patient, and I think that's smart. He's landed very well with the left and landed well with the right. So it's going to be this is going to become a chess match. And right now we're seeing them fighting at their best with the energy and whatnot. It's going to be interesting to see what happens as the fight goes on. And naturally, these fighters will slow down. And who will that benefit? Will that benefit Hughie Fury, or will that benefit Joseph Parker? We're in the final 10 seconds of this, the second round. All right, both fighters are still breathing heavy. The judges giving that to Joseph Parker, even with Hughie Fury, and another judge having it even. So it is a 1-point fight. Joseph Parker ahead after 2 rounds by the slimmest of margins. Once again, you are watching Boxing Time TV. And my name is Evan Jacobs. You can follow me on Instagram at Boxing Time with Evan. And on the left side of the screen, you have Hughie Fury. On the right side of the screen, you have Joseph Parker. And this is just it was just a fun game, a way for me to kind of make fights that are scheduled to happen, and in some way maybe insert myself a little bit in a little bit of the conversation that's happening. I mean, I don't really know that I do that, but it seems like people like this, whether they love it or they hate it. At least they are engaged by it in some way. It's getting a reaction. And Hughie Fury right now, the distance that he's at is where I think he should be. And I just think he throws jabs and right hands, and he can maybe negate Joseph Parker, because Parker wants to get close. And Parker is patient enough. The question is, will he out-patient himself and be so patient that he's not able to make something happen that he needs to make happen? Parker landing. It seems like the judges are mixed. Some of them really appreciate the boxings, others appreciate the jabbing. Um, the thing is that Hughie Fury, like I said, he is making the mistake and he's kind of leaning in, which is allowing Joseph Parker to hit him in ways that Fury probably does not want to be hit. Um, Hughie Fury is related to Tyson Fury, who beat Vladimir Klitschko for the heavyweight title. And I mean, I remember when that happened. It wasn't too long ago. And it's. I'm just hoping that that Tyson Fury can get himself together, because he really came in and shook up the heavyweight division with that victory. And I think I've talked about this before on the podcast. I think what may have happened to him is it's just you train all your life and you do this great thing and you beat this guy who's been so dominant for so many years. In Vladimir Klitschko, and then it seems like people just can't wait to just take it all away from you. And right now, all the titles are all fragmented again, and it's Anthony Joshua holds 2 of them, I believe. He's going to fight Vladimir Klitschko, and I've done a simulation of that fight, and in that simulation, Klitschko got knocked out, but I don't know. Something tells me that Klitschko is going to beat Joshua. I just have that feeling. I think he's going to negate some of the things that Joshua's doing. I think it's going to be close. I think Joshua's going to hurt him. But I think Klitschko is going to do it. Anyway, I'll finish up my thought on Tyson Fury as we end the 3rd round, a round in which I think was even. And they're saying that both fighters are obviously tired. And I hope that's not the case, because we still have 9 more rounds of boxing. And now you have Hughie Fury pulling ahead by 1 point. So this is a very evenly contested contest. I'm just going to finish up what I was saying about Tyson Fury. I think that Fury, after winning the title and kind of having everyone sort of take it away from him, literally, people can't wait to just pick it apart and this and that. I just think he felt like I did all that and I'm still having to, I haven't really gotten any respect from people. And I think that combined with some other things, probably contributed to the issues that he's currently having. And it bothers me, the comments that he's made about people. But hopefully he can, get himself together in a boxing sense and show us more of the person that I think he really is, that I want to believe that he is, because he is a very good fighter. And, what he did against Vladimir Klitschko defied so many odds, and it would be great to see him build on that, and I do hope that he fights again. Although I wonder, will he fight Hughie Fury if in real life, because Hughie Fury and Joseph Parker are slated to fight each other very, very soon, actually. I want to say it's March 4th. I'm going to go into my facts and info here. And, yeah, that bout is scheduled for April 1st. So I hope that it being on April 1st doesn't mean that the bout ends up being a joke. I know that that's a bad joke, but I just figured that I would say it. You have Joseph Parker getting Hughie Fury against the ropes, and the judges aren't going to like that. And Hughie Fury, I don't know if he has the pop. If Joseph Parker's starting to come on, does he have the pop to stop him? Although he is fighting off the ropes nicely, and Parker's moving back, so we will see. But hard right hands to the head. Oh wow! And he wobbles Hughie Fury. This bout is getting interesting, because Hughie Fury seemed to take the last round, and then he got ahead on the judges' scorecards. Now you have Joseph Parker, who's doing everything that he can, and one has to wonder, though, is Joseph Parker subtly breaking Hughie Fury down, or was that just a minor glitch on the way to Hughie Fury beginning to break out and take a decision or stop Joseph Parker? Based on how they've also reacted to each other's punches, I believe that Parker does hit harder and his punches are having more effect, and he's starting to land more to the head of Hughie Fury. One has to also wonder what Tyson Fury thinks. I believe Hughie is his cousin, of his cousin fighting for the title that he used to have, and he's probably happy about it. Probably, hey, keep it in the family, and we'll see. We will certainly see. I have to think the judges gave that round to Joseph Parker. They're saying Fury has a bruised rib, which is probably why Fury wobbled a bit when Parker touched him there. And that was another even round. And this is a 1-point fight with Hughie Fury ahead. I think if it went to the scorecards, man, I think that it would be a draw. But I think what I might do if Joseph Parker wins this fight, I think I might do Joseph Parker versus Tyson Fury and see how that. I'm going to write that down. Parker, Tyson Fury, and we'll see. I have other bouts on my list here. Gervonta Davis versus Vasyl Lomachenko, Canelo versus Lemieux, Triple G versus Eubank Jr. and Erislandy Lara. Also, I have a whole other board over there. It's interesting. There's some fights I remember years ago I pitched a story about an old fighter to fightnews.com, and they called the fighter and they called the story. They didn't go for the story. They just didn't think there'd be any interest in it. And I was like, okay. And it's interesting because I've done some older fights here that I thought would be bigger and people would have more interest in, fighters from the 80s and whatnot. Hasn't really been there. There's been a lot of interest in the younger fighters, and it might be because YouTube is a younger fighters medium, although I'm 43 and I love YouTube. So, and I'd like to check it out. And I have an interest in seeing the fighters from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s fighting in simulated bouts against current fighters. But right now, and I could be wrong here, I believe Joseph Parker is not throwing as many punches, but he's landing the harder punches. He's landing the more telling punches. And I think that Hughie Fury, it's going to serve him well to just be behind his jab and stay off the ropes. And he can probably, contain Joseph Parker. But I think Parker is coming on. And it's very, very subtle. I just think that his punches are hurting him more. And this is going to be interesting as we progress in this fight. As Hughie Fury, doing good work with his left jab. And he wobbles Hughie Fury and he drops him just as I say that. I think Joseph Parker has been planning that all night. What a combination. Wow. And he dropped him hard. That was really, really impressive. The tenor of this fight has changed. It's something that you kind of notice, if you follow this game, especially this boxing game, you have Joseph Parker landing a nice uppercut on Hughie Fury. And let's see if Hughie Fury can do something to sort of stop Joseph Parker gaining the momentum that he currently has. Because he dropped him hard. That's the kind of thing that and if Hughie Fury's rib is hurt, it's not going to take much for Joseph Parker to land some more shots and be victorious. All right, so they're saying that Fury is tired and has a bruised rib. And they're saying Parker's obviously tired, and they've given that round to Joseph Parker by 5 points. Parker now up by 3 points, and he's breaking out here. And you're seeing that Hughie Fury's fighting more cautiously. This is where I think he always should have been, and he wants to draw Joseph Parker out now. The thing is that I don't know if Hughie Fury really has the pop to stop him. And it's going to be a question of, can Joseph Parker continue to land the way that he's been landing? He was doing really well when Fury was fighting with more energy and more vigor. What happens now if Hughie Fury gets more cautious, gets his legs under him, and can jab and can find a way to make a decision? Their bout that's happening, I want to say it's happening in New Zealand. I could be wrong though. We'll see what. Yep, it's happening. It's happening in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm assuming at the Vector Arena, and that is this is one of those fights that is going to be interesting all the way through. I like what I'm seeing from both fighters. I really like the way that Joseph Parker is using his jab to set up his right hand. I think he's put hard punches together well. I think he's been very smart in how he's been patient. And I give Hughie Fury credit. He went down, he got up, and he's fighting cautious. He learned something from that, And the thing is, can he tire Joseph Parker out a little bit? Ultimately, I think Parker has fairly good stamina. I know in the Andy Ruiz bout, that's sort of what won it for Parker. Was he was throwing more punches, and I think that Ruiz got punched out a bit. One can only wonder how Andy Ruiz would fare against a Hughie Fury or in a rematch with Joseph Parker. One thing I don't like about Hughie Fury is that he's closer now and he's ducking down. And I think that's putting him right in the way of those hard left hands from Joseph Parker. So Fury does want to be back more at his distance. The question is, Joseph Parker probably going to try to shorten that by jabbing his way in. Oh, so he's throwing his right hand. He has him against the ropes, and Hughie Fury needs to figure out a way. He kept him off him before. Hughie Fury needs to figure out a way because he needs to do something because Joseph Parker is getting the idea that he can walk through the punches of Hughie Fury, and Fury just landed there with a nice left hand. Is it enough? Will it be enough? We are now through the halfway point of this fight. I believe the judges have probably given that round. They're saying that both fighters are tired. One judge has it even. Another judge has it even. This is probably one of the more closely contested fights on Boxing Time TV. Hughie Fury's not out of this at all. It's only a 3-round fight. And it'll be interesting to see what happens as this progressive, as Parker goes out, he punches Fury against the ropes. I think Joseph Parker knows that he maybe let Hughie Fury off the hook, and he's trying to make up for that. And it would be good for Parker to go to the body too. Continue to wow, and oh man, what an uppercut and he did hit him to the body. I wonder if he heard me. I'm kidding. I know he didn't hear me. And I got to be honest, it doesn't look like Hughie Fury is going to get up. He's hurt. He's on the ground, and a very good performance from both fighters. Once again, like I said, this is when we get the really good fights. When one fighter can when both fighters are fighting in their game plan. And I think Hughie Fury, as you're seeing, he was not behind on the scorecards. So he was able to do what he wanted to do. And then you have Joseph Parker, who was patient, who was measured, who looked for openings, who really jabbed and then used his right hand and broke him down to the body, which set up a lot of shots to the head and ultimately to the body, which stopped Hughie Fury. I wonder if his rib was broken. Yep, they're saying right now the winner is Joseph Parker by a knockout. Fight lasted 7 rounds. Hughie Fury was knocked down 2 times and has a broken rib. Parker was not knocked down. As you can see, Hughie Fury behind by the slimmest of margins. 1 point on one card, 2 points on another card, and even on the other. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Boxing Time TV. It's been my pleasure to bring you this fight. My name is Evan Jacobs. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is @BoxingTimeWithEvan. And yeah, that's if there's fights that you want to see, please let me know. Contact me in the comments, and I will do my best to make them. I try to answer and reply to all comments. If you've said a comment and I've not responded, hit me back. I'm unorganized, so that could be the reason why. Thank you very much for watching Boxing Time TV, and we will see you at the fights.